Hello, it's Gabby here. Anyways, I personally feel that since we are in a tech driven world, despite the fact that AI, automation, and global communication are part of today's era, I personally still feel having technical expertise as hard skills and having soft skills is also like great this because it helps a lot. It makes a difference, and it makes people more effective as employees. And also, hard skills and soft skills work well together, even in a tech driven world. And currently, today, technology is a major part of today's world. Even the workplace has a lot of technology, which is something else to consider. So that's another thing. And I think being good with technology and having good soft skills is also like great. Like good soft skills, like interpersonal and leadership abilities, for example, are great. It's very helpful to have those because it also makes a big difference. I believe if you have a good combination of technical skills with the ones I just talked about, then it leads to you being really good even when global competition occurs. Anyways, I personally I personally feel something that would help me address problems in the workplace, like the soft skills that will. I personally feel that not arguing with people and using effective communication skills is an effective way um, eh, from the soft skill perspective to deal with workplace challenges. I personally feel it's more professional to not get involved and constantly fuss. I feel it's better to talk with HR about what to do if it gets too extreme. I think it's honestly something that needs to be done if things get too bad. So that's another thing. I personally feel that is something I would like to say as an NCAT student that will be graduating in 2027 of May. So, yeah, the attitudes and behaviors of employees within the organizations, their attitudes can be influenced by organizational leaders' personal values because the policies, rules, and how the organizational leaders do things could be based on their personal values. I personally feel, in my personal opinion, that personal values have a lot to do with how organizational leaders make rules and policies and a variety of other things that are meaningful to the company. I also feel it has a lot to do with what kind of boss they're going to be. I feel what kind of boss organizational leaders are can be based also on their personal values. So that's another thing I'd like to say. So, yeah, that's what I believe. I personally feel that in school, ethics are, let me think. I personally feel that employees and employers both should be ethically responsible no matter what. I don't think it really matters whether you got a higher position or a lower position. I feel everybody should be ethically responsible. And I personally feel in school this is actually emphasized, but I'm not sure everybody realizes it. I personally feel that when a boss or suppose an employer is not ethically responsible, then it's a bad example for the employees and they might be more likely to do unethical things and it eventually will lead to consequences at some point. an example of how someone in community college where I used to be got misjudged for their internal factors rather than their external factors is honestly when the professor chose to kick her out of class because he thought she was on her phone when she wasn't, just because it wrong. I personally feel that was unfair, and I think instead of him just kicking her out of class when she wasn't even on her phone just because it went off, that he should have honestly been paying attention more to what she really was doing instead of just rushing to conclusions. So that's something else I have for this. So, yeah, that's another thing that I chose to add to this video, by the way. So, yeah. I personally feel that organizations should take diversity seriously. I personally feel that diversity can drive long term success because it helps um, to have multiple perspectives, or suppose various perspectives, for ideas for the business. I personally feel that so many organizations are on the value of profit over people. And I personally don't feel that people should be denied positions or paid less just because of things they can't control, such as race, age, or gender. I personally feel it's unfair to pay somebody less just because of things like that, especially things they cannot control. It's not fair at all. It's very unfair. So that's something else. I feel organizations need to take diversity more seriously, and that they need to start thinking about people and not just about the money. So that's something else. I feel with business values, diversity should be taken seriously. I feel everybody in the company should be treated like family, no matter what. So that's something else that I like to say. So that's another thing. So, yeah. I personally feel that the perceptions that we form can impact decision making because let's perceptions are oftentimes not positive. They're negative. They're like negative assumptions about people, and perceptions pretty much can potentially be similar to stereotypes. And I personally feel that perceptions aren't fair. I think having a negative perception of somebody based on on something about them based on like things on like the outside, like the race, gender, and also, yeah, based on things like that, I personally feel that when they have perceptions based on that, it can impact decision making because it doesn't help when a leader is using perceptions to make decisions, because I feel decision making is a lot worse when people use negative perceptions to make decisions. I feel decision making is a lot better when people are fair about it and don't let their negative perceptions that they formed get in the way, if you know what I mean. I think that OB dynamics can help managers with solving complex work issues and people and situational issues at organizational levels because they help them to understand how to act in organizations. I feel that's what organizational behavior is about. It's about learning what behaviors are appropriate and not appropriate in the workplace. An organization is also considered a workplace, by the way. So I feel that can help with that. And I feel if you know how to behave in an organization, it can help you deal with like issues as a manager. It can help you deal with people issues and stuff. And it can also help you to do well and to know what to do and what not to do. It's really helpful.